Cup in China. Group B features Venezuela and Colombia, and Chile and Brazil, who are due to get underway in just under an hour's time. So no easy games in this group phase. Eventually, 7 teams from the Americas will make it through to China 2019. And Venezuela will be utterly determined to be amongst those 7 teams. They have reached 3 World Cups previously, most recently in Japan back in 2006. And the current crop they have are a very talented bunch. Colombia, meanwhile, they've only ever played at 1 World Cup finals, and that was when they hosted the event back in 1982, and they didn't win a game that time either. So they are, in some respects, the rank outsiders coming into the clash. They are ranked world number 78 in the world, Colombia. Venezuela, number 20. So they are the favourites on this first game day of action in Group B, but they won't be taking anybody lightly. That I'm pretty sure about. Well, full house expected here at the Don Bolivariano. The atmosphere beautifully set in the build-up to the game. Home of the domestic club in Venezuela, Guaros de Lara, and a number of their players are in the Venezuelan roster. But first of all, it is going to be the Colombian team that will be introduced here. Just a reminder, though, of how things are going to work. The top 3 teams in this group, and remember there's only 4 teams in total in it, will make it through to the second round. And from there, the top 3 put their place automatically in the Basketball World Cup in 2 groups. And there'll be a playoff as well. But it is interesting to see how Venezuela go, because much is expected of them. They performed very well in continental competitions of late. They've won gold at the last 2 South American Championships. They won gold at the 2015 Americas Championships. And plenty of this current crop know what they're doing. Here's the Colombian team first of all, though. They've only got quite a small roster. In truth, Luis Almanzo we saw there. There's 3 teenagers in the roster. A roster that has only 9 players. So a youthful feel to Venezuela's team, bolstered by the experience of 36-year-old Edgar Moreno. And just listen to the roar as the Venezuelan team are introduced. It's going to be a bit of a cauldron of an atmosphere for Colombia to walk into tonight here in Barquisimeto. Huge cheers for Heisler Guillen. Played an important role for Guaros de Lara here on his home court in the Liga Sudamericana just a fortnight ago. Put their place in the final. The first Venezuelan team ever to feature in the Liga Sudamericana final, so there's a lot of happy memories. There'll be a lot of confidence out there amongst the Venezuelan ranks. Coached as they are by Fernando Duro, the Argentinian. Recently took over from Néstor Garcia, who moved to Spain to take over the Liga ACB team for Fuenlabrada. Well, we are minutes away from the opening tip here on game day 1 in Group B of the FIBA World Cup qualifiers. But first of all, it is time for the national anthems.
Please remain standing for the national team of Venezuela. Nos mantenemos de pie para escuchar el himno nacional de Venezuela.
Well, an enormous amount of passion on show from the fans and the players there. And see just how much it means to them. They start this World Cup qualifying campaign with a win. Our officials tonight: Alejandro Sanchez, Juan Fernandez and Gonzalo Salguero from Uruguay and Argentina. Really is a fantastic basketball gym, this one. Let's have a look then at the rosters. First of all, Colombia, as I mentioned, just a 9-man roster. It's an undersized team. There's only one player over 2 meters tall. This is a particularly small roster in both size and number of players. The man to watch out for is number 8, Michael Jackson. Is hugely dynamic and packs a punch whenever he plays. And he's no stranger to this court either, having played a starring role for them. For Cimarrones in recent times in La Liga Sudamericana. So back on familiar territory for him tonight, and lots of familiar territory for the Venezuelan players today. Not only because this is regularly used as the national team's home court, but because there's plenty of Guaros de Lara players in the roster as well. Gregory Echenique, Jose Vargas, Hayes Leguient and Nestor Colmenares all ply their trade here in the domestic league at the Dom Bolivariano. Final words then from the coaches. Guillermo Moreno, the head coach of Colombia, clearly trying to motivate his players, and they're going to need to be at the top of their game today to even compete with this hugely talented Venezuelan side, led by Fernando Duro, who is of Argentine nationality. But he's certainly no stranger to Venezuelan basketball. Well, looking forward to seeing the battle of the two senders. Gregory Echenique, experienced campaigner. This is his home court. He's going up against teenager Hector Martinez. In theory, a bit of a mismatch. There's Jackson. Watch him for Colombia. If he plays well tonight, who knows? Maybe Colombia can cause an upset. But Venezuela are the overwhelming favourites coming into the game. And we are all set for the action. Well, good evening, folks, and welcome along to Barquisimeto in Venezuela. FIBA World Cup qualifying for you. The road to China. Venezuela in the maroon, Colombia in the yellow. And the Venezuelans looking to start with a rock-solid win on their home court. This is Churia Rios, and now Colmenares spinning in the lane. Puts up the shot, and it doesn't get it to full. And there with the rebound was Atencia. Jackson going to the low post, absolutely rocking here the arena. Jackson with the three-point attempt, he misses. Colmenares with the board, and now here go Venezuela darting towards the bucket, and they put it up and in for the first score of the night. Jackson into Martinez, and now Atencia Suarez. Moreno Asprilla almost lost it there to Vargas. It's taken over instead. It's out to the corner. Shot clock down to 1. He's got to use it. And the shot wasn't the greatest. And Echenique's there for the rebound and gets Venezuela to the front court immediately. Churio Rios just slowing it down. Guillen left wide open. Misses with the three-point attempt. Echenique couldn't get to the rebound. Jackson now for Colombia. Frenetic here. Neither team wasting any time. Jackson puts one up. He misses, and Echenique once again helps himself to the rebound. Could see that developing as a pattern. Taken over with a steal and dunked in style by Almanza. So Colombia off and running, and Echenique already showcasing his qualities at the low post, and here he is. In his defense, and this time misses the shot. Almanza, scorer of the first bucket for Colombia, looking to turn provider, but his pass goes astray. Looking for Jackson, instead he finds only Heisler Guillen, but it's been turned over again, and a worrying start for Venezuela, and it's just laid up and in real simple by Edgar Moreno. 36-year-old, the most experienced player on this court. The easiest bucket you'll never likely have. Again, there's no pressure at all on Vargas. They're missing open shots at the moment, Venezuela, and that will concern them. Now Colombia returned with interest. Almanza for three, good. And how about this from Colombia? Coming out of the blocks real quick here. Colmenares. Chance for a three-point shot here for Venezuela to reduce the arrears. Answer. For three. Left it well short there. The pressure was really put on him and just went out of bounds. He's adopted the casual look as far as head coaches go. Guillermo Moreno. Guillant. For three. Colmenares. Oh, very nearly rattles back in. That would have been fortunate. Jackson. For three. Suarez. Axel Atencio Suarez there with the missed shot. Colmenares gets up to the bucket and puts it in. Slow start from Venezuela. Only their second bucket coming after 4 minutes. Colombia will be very proud of how they've begun here. Very much looking to play the role of the party poopers, looking to quieten this vociferous crowd here in Barquisimeto. Surely not. Potentially from way downtown misses. Venezuela now looking to pick up some momentum. It's into Colmenares from Guillant. Those two know each other so well from Guaros de Lara. Guillant for three, nothing but net. And this is going to be dangerous for Colombia if they're letting Venezuela take wide open shots like that from the perimeter. They are going to pay a heavy price, I think, because, well, Haisler Guillant is a very good three-point shooter. He's the sharpest one they've got on the court today. They need to put pressure on him. That'll make the Venezuelan crowd feel a little bit better after that sluggish start. First three-point success. And it's from a very popular player in these parts. Saw how his name was cheered when the teams were introduced. Good little bounce pass there. It's Martinez, he misses, but Almanza's there to follow, and he banks it in. Guillant. So simple, worryingly simple for Colombia, really. Gregory Echenique is going to have a field day if he's not put under pressure at the low post. Edgar Moreno. It's a surprising miss from Atencio. The little jump shot misses, but the right-hand hook does not from Hector Martinez, the 19-year-old. The only play they've got is above 2 meters. Colmenares exploiting the low post space, and it's back to level pegging again. 11 points all. Atencio. Moreno. Now Michael Jackson. Dancing feet that he's got. Shot clock down to 3. Got to be used quickly. Atencio takes aim and fires, but misses. And it's deflected out of play cleverly by Jackson, with Colmenares ready and waiting. High pressure start, but fairly low scoring so far this first quarter. Venezuela looking to explode into action here, but it's Colombia who are making some changes. On comes Simon Granados. Left open again from the corner. This time missed by Vargas, but the follow-up is good enough from the new arrival, Windy Gratterol. It's a fantastic name. as is Michael Jackson. Gratterol. Vargas. Asking a lot of Colmenares, but he's done very well to claim it under pressure and draw the foul. Foul called on Granados. Vargas goes to the bench, and on comes Elder Jimenez. Well, the coach, Fernando Torre, said from the start that he wanted to use young players. And when you look down the roster, there's nobody super young in it. Certainly contrasted with the Colombian roster. 3 teenagers in it. Youngest player for Venezuela is Jose Rodriguez, the 23-year-old. Most players in their mid to upper 20s. One or two veterans hanging around as well, particularly Jose Vargas, who's 35. Nicely played and rejected. Great defense. Gratterol gets Venezuela forward thinking. Oh, just spilt by Jimenez. Literally just come on. He won't be pleased that that's his first intervention to lose possession for the Venezuelans. Well, Giro's got plenty of those 2015 America champions at his disposal. Aisler Guillen, one of those players. Jose Vargas, another. Mr. Colmenares, Windy Gratterol. They weren't able to have Gregory Echenique at the last 2 AmeriCups, but he will add reinforcement for the Venezuelans, particularly in the paint. Guillen goes to the bench. Trying to switch it, trying to be too clever here, Venezuela, and they're paying a heavy price. Colombia come on the fast break through Jackson. Left well short by Martinez. Not afraid to take a 3-point shot, the big man. Now Mijares has only just come on in a hurry here. He's all action. He certainly is. Edwin Mijares. So frenetic, I don't think he was too sure whether he had the ball or not there. Mijares. Just about grabbed by Perez, then he hands it over to Garcia. Mijares for 3, real high one. For 3, just stepped out. And now here come Colombia, taking their time to get to the front court with Moreno, the veteran, to Atencia, the youngster, just 20 years of age, but theoretically one of the more experienced players in the roster, given the fact there's 3 younger than him. 4 on the shot clock, Jackson has to use it, does, and gets it to rattle in, and Colombia retake the lead. It's been a very fine first quarter of action from the young Colombians. Mijares, Venezuela know now, if they didn't before, that they're in a real contest here. And it's Perez from the corner for 3 for the lead, misses. Jackson with the rebound. So far, he has rebounded well, leading the charts on 3, alongside Gregory Echenike. I've been impressed with the way Colombia have rebounded in general, given the fact they are an undersized team. They are out-rebounding Venezuela in these early stages, 12 boards to 10. And we have a timeout called. Venezuela trail by 2, 51 seconds left. Okay, so Fernando Duro to relay some important instructions here as he looks to get Venezuela out in front before the end of the quarter.
Salimos del trap, el que esté más cercano. Eso es lo que los tiene entretenidos a ellos. Ellos no han podido jugar fácil. Vamos a mantenerlo. Dale, y 1, 2, 3.
Well, the coaches have had their say. I'm not sure they'll be entirely delighted with how his team are faring so far. It's not an easy group, this, with Brazil and Chile involved as well. And they're playing at the moment. This is for 3. Garcia rims out. No luck from range. And that's rather careless, I'm afraid, from Edgar Moreno. His experience should have known better. And he got a turnover. And right under the rack, denied. What a rejection. Well, it was Moreno's fault. The ball was turned over there, but he did recover well here. Look at this. Very tidy play. Very few fouls in this first quarter. Another change here for the Colombians. Luis Almanza comes on. Off goes Hector Martinez. Looking for a route here. Do they need to take it quickly? Not really, but Garcia's left open. And no mistake this time. That improves Venezuela's range from downtown no end. Hasn't been the best of starts for them from range, but that's more like it. In reply, teardrop shot misses. Why have they used that so quickly, Colombia? Venezuela now will have another chance. Garcia for 3, same position. Misses this time. 1 second left with a Hail Mary. Misses. Well, fascinating first quarter. Colombia have done themselves very little harm indeed. In fact, they've done very well. But it is Venezuela who take a lead after the first quarter by a solitary point. Venezuela 18, Colombia 17. So, the state of affairs is that Venezuela lead by Colombia. Well, Colombia, the world ranked number 78 against a Venezuelan team ranked world number 20. We've got a little pause here in play. Well, look like the teams are ready to come back out for the second quarter, and then the officials have told them not to just yet. There's a little extra time for the coaches to have their say. This is Guillermo Moreno. I think what it is that the officials were just checking something. I'm not entirely sure what. But they seem content now to get things restarted with this second quarter. You do wonder if Colombia's 9-man rotation that they're going to have to deploy, because that's the whole size of their roster, might affect them later on. They've only used 7 so far. It does mean the starting 5 are going to have to play an awful lot. I don't want anyone fouled out of this game, that's for sure. Solid enough start though to the second quarter for the Colombians, who take the lead again. The lead has changed hands plenty of times. Mijares into Renteria, who's the new arrival in his second quarter. Graterol out in the corner, which is where Perez and Garcia generally lie, and it's a nice right-hand hook from Winty Graterol. Twists and turns and gets the shot off, and it's a fine one. In off the glass. Mijares. Graterol back out. Perez trying to whip it out to Jimenez quickly. The referees have stepped in. As Graterol was called for travelling. And Colombia get in the front court. Renteria. Using Almanza Soriano, and now Granados. Moreno. Where are his options here? Moreno shoots up a prayer, a little more, and missed by an absolute mile. Mijares. Perez, and now Jimenez for 3. Rebound hotly contested. Renteria got there first. Moreno now will get Colombia out of their backcourt. And will give and then return. Who's going to dominate the hardwood here for Venezuela? Who's going to get this game by the scruff of the net? They've been below par, I think, so far. Chance for 3. Almanza misses this time. Moreno with the rebound, sets it up from the corner. Renteria. Oh, it rattles out. Renteria gets it again. Great rebounding work. Oh! Perez joins the SWAT team. They like that up in the stands from Anthony Perez. Not exactly the tallest man on the court, but he has a real spring in his step there, and that was a massive rejection. Renteria. So Colombia calling the timeout this time, but with the luxury of being in the lead. No real great switch up in the stats since the end of the first quarter. 19 rebounds so far for Colombia, still out-rebounding comfortably their opponents. 8 offensive boards as well, compared to just 4 and 14 for Venezuela so far. Very surprising that. Gregory Echenique maybe not having the influence he would have liked, but he's not on the court at the moment. Instead, that big man role is being entrusted elsewhere. Indy Gratterol. So Colombia will restart things. Inbounding. Was that a backcourt violation? The officials say no, it wasn't. Jackson for 3. The Venezuelan crowd thought it was. In the meantime, they've got it back. Good rebounding defensively. And now sets himself for a 3-point shot. Gratterol goes well over the top of the rack there. And now Moreno can pass. Good hustle under the board. Inbound it. Echenique for 3. This time long from Vargas. Almanza into the hands of the big man Martinez. He will now look to surely make his way into the paint, but it's not a contest he wants to fight too much with Echenique, because he knows his opponent's got the height advantage. Vargas Hernandez up the baseline and puts it up and in off the glass. Oh, so simple. It's been a very low scoring start to the second quarter. 14 points in the paint each. Both teams have struggled from the perimeter. In fact, Venezuela shooting 13%, Colombia just 8%. Here go the Colombians. Almanza for 3. It's not deterring them from going from range. But it is a low-scoring second quarter so far. There's only been 8 points in both teams collectively. And they've played for more than 4 minutes of it. Here is Echenique, ball in his left hand, goes up with the hook, draws the foul. Will go to the free throw line. So here go the Colombians once more, looking to recapture the lead, which they've momentarily at least lost. Jackson. Echenique making just 1 from 2 from the free throw line, so the lead is only at 2. Michael Jackson now. Shot clock down to 3. Jackson's got to use it and does. Just puts up a little jumper. And that levels the scores, and Colombia are staying right on track here with their Venezuelan counterparts. Echenique couldn't miss, doesn't miss. Jackson. Almadse. Vargas. Chance for 3 from way downtown. Nothing but net from Granados. Propels Colombia into the lead here. Possession thrown away, a steal. Here is Atencia. Now Martinez. And Echenique with the foul on Almanza Soriano. Granados goes to the bench after draining the 3 moments ago. Nice impact from him. Almanza to the charity stripe to square the game, in fact to increase the lead. Leguia. This is the man that can really turn it around. You should have seen how he played for Quares de Lara the other week. Vargas, long 2. Absolutely hopeless from range at the moment. Both teams have struggled. Colombia go coast to coast through Michael Jackson. Jackson just cannot finish it. Martinez for 3. This time missed by Atencia, but he gets it back here and he's darting on the runway and he puts it up and in, takes off. And Colombia really now starting to show that they are going to be in this game not just for the first half, but they're here for the long haul. They're here to try and surprise Venezuela. This is still a talented roster. It's a young roster that Guillermo Moreno has entrusted Guillen. And you still feel they're stuck at the moment in a low gear here, Venezuela, and they need to get out of it. Bit of a rut. And he really hasn't had the influence one would expect. Ace Guillen. 3 points from his 12 minutes on the court so far. Mijares has come back into play for the home team. Fernando Duro just took over from Néstor Garcia, his fellow Argentinian who was in charge, who used to coach Quares de Lara as well, also a previous coach of the Uruguayan and Argentinian national teams. And it was he who guided Venezuela to those 3 gold medals in the last 3 years. Shot for 3. Just left short again. Back off the iron it comes from Vargas. And they're still rebounding very well. Edgar Moreno in particular. 6 rebounds to go with his 4 points. That's very wayward from Deluque Bonacelli, who's only just come into play. 3 on 2 here. This should be points. Perez scores and 1. More like it. And a chance of a 3-point play. Well, that will please Anthony Perez. And it won't please Deluque Bonacelli. He's only just come on. Another one of their teenage sensations, Soren Deluque Bonacelli. For three from the corner. Good! Drains it. Atencia. And Colombia continue to impress. They lead by 3. 2:32 left on the clock in the half. It's been intense stuff from Colombia. They've kept it up, which has been impressive. I thought it was just a good start, but it's more than that. And Mijares really has confounded the problems that Venezuela have had. They haven't done the simple things well. This was a very surprising miss from Mijares. He's got 2 surnames, Mijares Barron, and it's a barren spell right now for Venezuela. We'll be hoping it's just a little bit of a hiccup, but they have been a bit of a daze so far, and Fernando Duro will hope to awaken them from their slumber. That said, it's Colombia that have called time out here. Well, we've seen some wonderful athleticism on the show. Michael Jackson is one of the most dynamic athletes on the court. Absolutely flying through the air at times. But the man who's perhaps caught the eye most, Luis Almanza Soriano. 9 points and 5 boards. So far shooting 50% from the field. Solid. Very solid indeed. Both teams still struggling, though, from 3-point range. Colombia down 17%. Venezuela just over 10% so far. Martinez not just going to the bench, but going down to the dressing rooms by the looks of things. That might be the end of his first half. 2:20 left on the clock here. And just to refreshen him. Ready for a big second half. Did come off Mijares last, so here come the Colombians again, and it's Michael Jackson. Moreno, good fake. Trying to get away from Vargas, easier said than done, and that is a shot clock violation. It's a shame for him because he got off a fantastic shot, but it was just a fraction too late. Mijares. Echenique in the paint. This is where he does most of his work. Well, one thing Colombia have done very well is quieting the crowd here. It's usually a very, very noisy arena. But tonight, it isn't right now. The Venezuelans haven't had too much to shout about. Yeah, gets it to roll in off the iron. Just about shedding it in terms of points in the paint. The pass does find its way somehow to Jackson, who's messed up the shot. And now here go Venezuela. They've got men over, and it's sent out with a huge jam. Anthony Perez might have hurt himself in the process, but my goodness me, that was huge. Well, how about this? That's a fast break, if ever I've seen one. Harris taking a tumble as he gets to the rack here. The referees did not call foul. Great pass by Colmenares to find Perez, and Venezuela looking to end this second quarter on top, and they are now 1 point in front. Colombia looking to immediately respond through Moreno. And it was through Jackson who was fouled. Two from two. Chinique. Great quick passing play here from Venezuela, but it's been stolen by Jackson. Jackson, an unnecessarily showpiecing pass. And here's Mijares, the layup, no. Propels the pass from out from the lane, and the shot drained from downtown by Jose Vargas. Venezuela back in front. 7-second differential between shot clock and time left in the quarter. It just about stays in possession for Almanza, but now it's turned over. So timeout called. This time by Venezuela. 1 play left, 18 seconds left on the clock.
Almanza protege el aro. Hey, si logramos tenerla, vamos a hacer puño, vamos a hacerle pantalla a Edgar y 4 profundos. Vamos a hacer loca. Ellos, pónganse en zona. Zona. Hey, apenas pasa el pie. Duro.
Well, this team talks look pretty intense. It's been neck and neck throughout. Neither team has at any point had a significant lead, that's for sure. It's been a game where the lead has changed hands at regular intervals. But it looks as if Venezuela will go into half-time in front. But the question is by how much here? The pressure on. And a high press will just about find its way through. And here for three. Good! It's a 5-point lead, and he's got to take it on. He took it a little early, I think. And we're out of time. Well, tremendous first half of action here from Barquisimeto. High fives to the Venezuelans, who got off, quite frankly, to a stuttering start, but they'll be happy enough, given the circumstances, to be 5 points in the lead. The half-time score, Venezuela 38, Colombia 33. It's been an excellent first quarter for Edgar Moreno, the veteran for Colombia. 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 points. Michael Jackson has also had an influential first 2 quarters, 5 boards, 8 points. But Venezuela are the team in front, and that is thanks to really a team performance. Winty Carrarol is impressed. 6.5 minutes on the court, 3 offensive rebounds in that time, 4 points, 8 points for the captain Vargas, including those important ones at the back end there, and leading the efficiency ratings, Nesta Colmenares. 8 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. Colombia dominated at the board, somewhat surprisingly, 28-23 in favour of rebounds, and they've twice as many offensive boards as well. level when it comes to turnovers and indeed on fouls. Haven't seen too many blocks. And the halftime score, Venezuela 38, Colombia 33. We'll leave you with highlights of the first half, but don't go too far, as we'll bring you the second half in just a few minutes' time. Well, welcome back to the Don Bolivariano here in Barquisimeto, Venezuela. Got a really interesting game here developing between two teams in the South American region. Well, on paper, it seemed a bit of a mismatch. Two teams are in very different places in the world rankings. Venezuela seem the overwhelming favourites, but the way the game's gone so far, Colombia are right in the contest. 5 points in it. Venezuela do lead, but they trailed for much of the second quarter. They just nudged in head at the back end of it. No real standout performers. It's been a good team performance from Colombia. Venezuela's captain, Jose Vargas, has done well, but for me, Néstor Colmenares, 8 points, dominating in the paint, and 4 rebounds to go with it, has probably been the standout player. But that's not necessarily saying a lot, and a player that is very highly rated in this part is the point guard, Heisler Guillen, but he's been very quiet so far for Venezuela, and they certainly haven't blown away Colombia in that first half, as some expected them to do so. So last chance for the official, for the coaches to get their say in before this all-important third quarter. And you feel it could be a game-defining quarter, really, particularly for Colombia. Can they make sure they stay within touching distance of their opponents, or are Venezuela going to make a statement here to really graft their way into the lead in the first 2 quarters? But here goes. It's very important to start these qualifying campaigns well. Statement of intent as well. Brazil and Chile also in this group. No easy games in World Cup qualifying in the Americas region. 7 teams will progress. There's a few teams who you think, yeah, they are going to be nailed on. They'll be there in China. There are others who just wonder, maybe they will, maybe they won't. Ultimately, we're looking to find the best 7 teams in the region. Are Venezuela and are Colombia in them? Well, rankings suggest that yes, Venezuela are and no, Colombia aren't, but it's been a much tighter game than everybody expecting. This in the Venezuelan home court as well here in Barquisimeto. A bit of a full start to this third quarter. So here we go, Venezuela on the front foot, and it's Vargas for 3. That would have been the statement of intent they're looking for. Colmenares adds to his haul of rebounds from the first half. And they've recycled it out to the perimeter, and that jars in the eye from Garcia, but once again, they've won the offensive rebound. Looks like they're starting this second half with real purpose and intent. Bounce pass in the lane, and put up little right-hand shot from Heisler Guillen. Quiet first half, off to a noisier start to the second. Jackson, it's lost out there. Vargas switches. Nice play. Colmenares, here he is. And it has been a good start here for Venezuela. Up to a 7-point lead, and they get the foul. It's the chance for the youngsters to regroup, and they really are youngsters. Without Edgar Moreno on the court, their average age plummets. We've got Martinez, who's 19. Atencia, who is just 20. Alejandro Muñota, who's also 19. Right now it's Colmenares who's up at the free throw line, and he makes no mistake to add both. And Venezuela have their biggest lead of the game, up to 9 points here. Colombia looking to claw it back as a matter of urgency. Moreno's pass finds Jackson, and Jackson gets the better of his opponent this time. Martinez. Oh, nice fake. And a little jump shot is made by the impressive Atencia. Youngster has caught the eye. Guillen. Vargas throws it back to the top of the mountain. Colmenares to Guillen again. Little one-handed shot missed. And the dunk from Gregory Echenique. That's where he likes to sweep up most of his points in the paint there. And it is why Venezuela are leading, because of their work in the lane. Martinez. Long two. Tough shot to make. Doesn't make it. Colmenares with the rebound. Nice pass and gets it on the return. And back out Garcia for three. Lovely play. But the shot at the end of it was disappointing. Atencia. Puts it up and in off the glass. Tidy finish from Atencia. Colombia here are making their way back now to a 7-point game. Vargas, Colmenares. Vargas, so they're playing it nicely. Guillen. And Colmenares, the back is open for him. There does seem to be an increased composure about Venezuela in this third quarter. Moreno from the elbow. Missed. And good work at the board again. Echenique now is starting to have an increasing impact and influence on the game. 7.7 boards for him. Here is Vargas, sets himself. And again. And Colmenares at the low post with an easy two. And it's a double-digit lead now for Venezuela, who are starting to coast. Problems persist for Colombia. He'll demand more from his players. He knows that they are inexperienced, but they're a talented bunch, and it's very encouraging signs for Colombia. Got a momentary break in play here. Referee gets us back underway. Moreno. Almanza Soriano. Jackson is quick. Red Terrier from the corner. Good. Drains the three, and it's back to a single-digit lead here in Venezuela. Keep themselves on the straight and narrow here. Nesta Colmenares and Gregory Echenique, and the big man roles have been very good since half-time. Little floater. And this is the running jump. Moreno's pass. They've worked this nicely, Colombia. Now then, Moreno. Back to Atencia. And now Jackson. Oh, Jackson with the finish and one. Huge play from Michael Jackson. He's a big game player, this guy. Plays with Cimarrones del Choco in the Colombian league. He's featured in the Liga Sudamericana this season, and he has caught the eye. And there was a wonderful play. Can he have the extra? He most certainly can. It's game on here in Barquisimeto. Colombia back to within 5. And this impressive start from Venezuela to the second half has rather been halted. And that's thrown away by Colmenares. It hit a foot, apparently. Atencia is in disbelief there. Hansel Atencia. He really was trying to say that it came off his knee, not his foot. Referees disagree. And Venezuela are going to change things up, freshen things. Anthony Perez is going to replace Cesar Garcia. Guillac rims out with a three-point attempt. Jackson now might go coast to coast. Instead he kicks out. Atencia. Jackson right under the rack, and he is called for travelling. Vargas bumping his way into the lane, and then the tip back from Colmenares is clever. Jackson. The baseline he goes, and that's good. Red Terrier. This is really turning out to be a thrilling game. Perez for 3. Venezuela need to get the win back in their sails. Colmenares has been brilliant up at the boards. He really has been in this second half. 8 rebounds, 16 points now for Colmenares. It's a huge performance from him, and what a spin that is. Oh, Colmenares. Special player, special performance. Edgar Renteria. a physical specimen. Vargas, the floated shot misses. Referees like that. No foul called, and now here they go in the front court. Almanza cues it up for three. And that was a little push in the back. Hates Guyen penalised. That looked a good call from the officials. That not always easy to spot those ones. Guyen goes to a second personal foul. Well claimed. Vargas Hernandez for Venezuela. Gets into the front row. Great pass. And one. Anthony Perez proving to have quite a fruitful night. 7 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Jose Vargas, 8 points, 5 assists. Creative influence he's had on the game. There's one man who's really stolen the show so far for the hosts, and that is Nestor Colmenares. The only player in double digits. He's on 18 points. Leading the way by some distance. The extra is added, so Venezuela's lead has grown again up to 9 points. Concern for Colombia. Colombia are sticking to their opponents here still. They're not allowing Venezuela out of sight. They've got to do these simple things well, these free throws. Mijares with the foul. Atencia adding fuel to the fire here of the comeback. Yeah, both free throws may. Atencia now leading the scoring for the Colombians on 13 points. Once he played. Atencia to the corner. This is Vargas coming in, penetrating the lane and drawing the foul. Free throw shooting's been impressive tonight from both sides. Venezuelans averaging 90%, Colombia a little bit less, on about 75. 9 points in it here. And the lead is now up to double digits. Slampels for Colombia here as we come towards the finishing straight of the third quarter. They will want to be within single digits of their opponents come that fourth quarter. That's a foul. Jackson draws it. Fouls on Vargas now. We'll just have to tread a bit of a tightrope from here on in. Jackson then, 12 points, 7 rebounds. Make that 13 points. But you can hear how the atmosphere has changed a little. It's a slightly lackluster first half performance from Venezuela, but the second half has been a definite improvement. Oh, well claimed, a great pass as well, and that's a really nice play from Venezuela, and it deserved more, quite frankly, from Jimenez. He misses. Colombia now in transition. Atencia, good pass, initially missed, but patience paid off for Almanza Soriano, and he does get the foul. Now that Mijares to the front court. Oh, he just lost it there and out of control. And there is a foul. Anthony Perez, the villain. Well, I think there is a body attached to that leg. The Colombian players there just not feeling a bit of cramp, getting some I can't tell you who it is. Hopefully all is okay. Moreno gets it. 7 points in it now. 2:08 on the clock in the third quarter. Mijares, they need to stop the turnovers here. Venezuela, they've started to hemorrhage them in the last few minutes. Jimenez take the passing round. Vargas Hernandez throws up a little right hand hook. He misses, and it's grabbed impressively by Almanza Soriano. Moreno now in the front court. Renteria surging on the outskirts of the lane. Moreno makes them. So it is now just 5 points. 90 seconds left in the quarter. They're setting it up for a grandstand finale here. Are the Colombians. It's been a very impressive response to them. 21 points apiece in this very entertaining third quarter. High quality basketball on show here. Grabbed impressively on the rebound, but Venezuela not quite making that free throw count, but they do get the rebound. So actually it might work out in their favor here. Mijares darting in the lane, good pass, just couldn't quite get it to finish, but it's a foul by Almancha Soriano. So there'll be a couple more free throws coming. It has worked out pretty well in the end. Gratterol. The nod of approval from Fernando Duro, looking to mastermind this first win of the World Cup qualifiers. Moreno around his man into the lane, throws it to the corner, well taken, great catch, and he backs it in, beautiful from Renteria. Glorious play in Venezuela. Are pegged back once more, 6 points now. Mijares finds Colmenares. Perez to Mijares again. Shot clock down to single digits, up in the lane on the runway, and one. What a play from Edwin Mijares. Moreno. Spinning on the edge of the arc, and he's seemingly found the great pass, but it's swatted. Really brutal defense. .16 seconds. That's all that remains in the third quarter. Venezuela still looking for that comfortable double-digit lead to take into the last quarter, and both free throws are made, so it is a 10-point lead, and Colombia, we feel, could really do with a good score here. Set up that fourth quarter comeback. Moreno biding his time. Shot clock now down to 5. Got to use it. And misses with the reverse, and that is that for the third quarter. So Venezuela in a good position. That's the by and large of it. Fascinating third quarter, and it's one that's seen Venezuela's lead grow. They are not beyond reproach. They're not home and dry. Colombia will mount, I'm sure, all they can, and hopefully, from their point of view, it'll be some kind of a comeback. Venezuela 66, Colombia 56 after 3 quarters. So the state of affairs is a sorry one from the perimeter. My goodness, just 4 3-point successes on both sides, but in the paint, both teams have operated rather more successfully. Fascinating battle of the boards, which was being won by Colombia earlier in the contest, but Colmenares and Echenique have turned that around. It's now level pegging. Turnovers, both you'll be fairly satisfied with that in the end. Manageable numbers. That's the Colmenares putting in a really big shift. 18 points, 8 rebounds. Guillen, I actually think he's had a very quiet night of it, but came off there, and his shot just falling short, and Echenique was there to grab it. It was a very fast start to the third quarter from Venezuela. Particularly Echenique and Colmenares catching the eye, but since then, we've seen Colombia come back into it. With Michael Jackson's pass wide there, very tidy to Renteria, who when called on has had an effect. 7 points and multiple rebounds. Luis Almanza, 11.7 boards. Michael Jackson, though, is their main man, as we thought he would be. 13 points, 8 boards. And it's all set up rather nicely for this fourth and final quarter. Worked it nice, long two attempted. Good, nothing but net. Perez. So Colombia getting the first points of the fourth quarter was important. Now they can really build on it here. These three-point shots finally going to come good. There's been real problems on both sides, averaging less than 20% from downtown. This goes in, it's a 5-point game, he's missed it. But the rebound's grabbed by Almanza. Renteria left wide open there, and he misses two. Colmenares cues it up. Back out for Garcia for three. Just missed. Kicks out to the top of the mountain, Moreno. Almost lost it, shot clock down to 3, you've got to use it. And again, the three-point shot misses. Both teams will really hope to work on that in their next games on Monday. More about that in just a second. Yes, that's right, there's more games to come later in the weekend. Oh, what a putback that is. Almanza with the follow. And it is a 6-point game now, and they are right in this. Venezuela go to Rio de Janeiro on Monday to face Brazil. Whilst Colombia welcome Chile to Medellin. Good run. And the running jumper misses. This occasion for Mijares, and Colombia here can make it a 3-point game, but it's been stolen and a turnover. And this could be key. It's Perez, impressive, cues it up for Garcia, wide open, knocks down the one from downtown. Renteria looking for an immediate return to a 6-point game, but it's missed everything. And now Venezuela looking to grab the ball by the horns. Nesta Colmenares with a big put down. Double-digit lead for Venezuela in the fourth quarter. And a dagger in the heart for Colombia. Great pass by Mijares. The kind of passing we've come to expect from him today. Doesn't do things half-heartedly, yes, the Colmenares. 20 points now.
Sigo poniendo piernas para defender. Que no me eche la bola,
Set up very nicely for the fourth quarter, but are Venezuela just going to ease away? Shifting up a gear when it most matters, perhaps. Colombia need something very special from here on in. Do they have what it takes? Martinez, who's been very quiet. I'm afraid that's not going to help his cause. Heslaguer. Again, they've left him so open, it's frightening. But Jackson's there to collect the rebound and sprint up into the lane. He's called for travelling. Not for the first time tonight either. Just a little bit over-eager, I think, Jackson. Shot clock down to 3, got to be used. And missed. Jackson. Moreno sets up the transition play around the back pass. Now that's it. Thought he'd recollected it. The ball trickles behind, but it will still stay in Colombian possession. Martinez sets the screen, it's nice. Almanza puts it up, backs it in. Keeps Colombia in the hunt. Inbound. Colmenares then. Venezuela looking to take this back to a double-digit lead and ease their fears. The 3, good. Oh, he landed it in perfectly. That was a thing of absolute beauty. And Venezuela are starting to play some real clutch basketball. Turning up the temperature when it most matters. Moreno. Colombia need something special. Is this it? No, left short. And the rebound is there for Heslaguer. Colmenares to the front court. Colmenares shifted over to Garcia. Guillen. There's a swagger about Venezuela. They look comfortable. They look assured of themselves. And they look confident of going 1-0 in the group phase here of the World Cup qualifying. In the first group phase, I hasten to add. 7 America teams will qualify for the Basketball World Cup. The games taking place between, well, this window and one eventually in February 2019. The top 3 in this group will progress to the second round. the front court. Now here goes Minota. Rodriguez up the baseline, denied. Combination of Echenike and Vargas doing the business, and now Vargas here has Echenike in the paint. Guillen out to the corner, Garcia for three. Good dagger! And Venezuela's lead is the biggest it's been. 15-point advantage. 4 minutes 20 on the clock, and Colombia beyond hope now. It seems hard to imagine a comeback from here. Stranger things have happened though. Atencia. It's another shot clock violation. They just seem to have lost all momentum here, the Colombians. Minota makes way. Venezuela know it'll be a very different experience on the road in Brazil. At the home comforts here in Barquisimeto. But they'll take confidence from this display, particularly in the second half. Moreno. Now Atencia, yeah, drains the long two. That was Guillen. This is Vargas for three. Both teams averaging less than 20% success still from three-point range. Colombia call a timeout.
Ahora, muchachos, ojo con el marcador. Esta es una serie de 2 partidos. Hay que llevarlos corto ahora. Vamos en L. Vamos así. Michael, Ansel, Almanza.
And you have the three-point success rate, 7 made compared to Colombia's 4, but the percentage isn't that much better. 1 in every 5 going in. Wins for Brazil over Chile, which is in this group, and the Dominican Republic over the Virgin Islands earlier tonight in the Americas qualifying. They appear to be surging to victory against the Bahamas, and Venezuela pretty comfortable here against Colombia now. Moreno with a pass, and that's going to be travelling. Just didn't take it cleanly into his stride, Michael Jackson. He's been called for travelling several times tonight. This is Hayes Guillen. Quite a night by his standards. 5 points, 4 assists. Looking for another one here as he searches for Colmenares. Interrupted though by Jackson. And Jackson goes to the front court. Makes the shot from range. Long two. Just inside, according to the officials. Guillen. This is for 3 this time. Missed. Echenike with the rebound and foul. Just over 2 minutes remain here for Venezuela to see out, but they're not just clinging on, are they? They're extending their lead, if anything. That was the foul by Jackson a moment ago. Jackson now on 4 personal fouls, is withdrawn.
Venezuela sale y ingresa José Rodríguez.
Colombia looking to finish with a flourish. That's nicely played and in the lane. Lovely play from the Colombians, and it's put up and in by Luis Almanza. They've done well, given such a small rotation they've had at their disposal. Coach only had 9 players to play with, and 2 of them have barely been on the court. Mignotta, and we've not seen much of Soren DeLuque Bornacelli either, 2 of their teenage sensations. But it's a young roster and they can be encouraged, I think. This has been a very good performance from Colombia. They are going to fall just short. We've had a timeout called here.
Vamos a hacer lateral. Almanza y el exterior. Pantalla. Hey, venimos aquí. Vamos para acá. Abrimos. Antes pasa.
Some mighty fine moments for Colombia to reflect on in this game, but it will be a case of what might have been. I think they have stuck together when it's mattered. Venezuela, a couple of cagey moments, especially early on in the game. Colombia had the lead for quite a few minutes in the first half. But what will please Venezuela is that they've led every quarter so far. They took the first by 1, the second by 4, the third by 5. They're up by 2 in this fourth quarter, which has been extremely low scoring. And it was extremely low scoring at one point. I beg your pardon. But the pace has picked up recently. Simon Granados drawing the foul this time. Decent pass. Just over a minute left. Here is Hayes Leguia. It's job done for Venezuela as far as they're concerned, but they'll look to finish on a high here and give the fans something to shout about. Nice bounce pass. Oh, and what a reverse layup that was. Inspiring from Jose Rodriguez. Granados goes alone. Colmenares doesn't quite have it stolen from him, despite their best attempts from Luis Almanza. Garcia, listen to the crowd, willing them on for another score. Colmenares gets that score and one. And he adds the extra as well. Venezuela's lead growing to the highest it has been in the game right at the end. Colombia with one last offense. Atencia for three from way downtown. Good. Nice way for the Colombians to finish. And there is still time here for Venezuela. There's the game. Venezuela start with a win over Colombia here in Barquisimeto. And it's a comfortable victory as well. Spearheaded by Néstor Colmenares' 23-point performance. Ably supported by the likes of Jose Vargas. 10.7 assists, 5 rebounds. Good all-round performance from him. Colombia, they huffed and they puffed. Double-double for Michael Jackson. 15 points, 12 rebounds. And also a double-double for Luis Almanza, 15 points, 10 boards. But ultimately, they have come up short against this talented Venezuelan roster. They've won a lot of titles in the recent years, and they're showing no signs why they won't be at the World Cup in 2019 after this bright start of a performance. Venezuela 85, Colombia 71, the full-time score. Well, it wasn't ruthless in Venezuela. Colombia stayed in the contest for a long, long time. The three-point shooting, both teams will feel aggrieved to see those statistics, quite frankly. But Venezuela did most of their damage in the paint. Echenique and Colmenares operating so successfully there. Been a pretty even battle at the boards. Colombia, in the end, just shading it despite having an undersized roster. With only one player.